right? They're changing my voice. So a lot of people don't understand Revelation 9. Revelation 9 verse 21 occurs after the sixth trumpet. Okay, and the sixth trumpet is about the inhabitants of the earth punishing themselves and each other by their wickedness. That's why their heads are said to be heads of lions, right? When they're talking about the troops who are following the four angels from the abyss, and they're breathing fire, smoke, and sulfur. And that goes back to Isaiah 34, where it says the sulfur stands for chaos and desolation. We see that the harlot in Revelation 17 is said to suffer death, mourning, and famine. And these are figurative, right? She is miserable because she's not achieving the point of life. She's the walking dead. She's the essence of the cultures of the world, the cities of the world, the inhabitants of the earth. And she's like a deadbeat harlot. So what is the problem here? We go down to verse 21. It says, actually, let's go to verse 20. The rest of mankind who were not killed by these plagues still did not repent of the work of their hands, nor did they stop worshiping demons and idols of gold, silver, bronze, stone, and wood. Idols that cannot see, hear, or walk. It's talking about what the idols are shaped after, right? So there's an idol of Zeus, okay? They worship rape by deception. They worship false conceptions of justice. They worship pagan conceptions. Basically, everyone in the world but me is doing the wrong thing, and they're following false idols. And those idols made of gold stands for wisdom, right? They have false wisdom. Silver stands for insight. They have false insight. Bronze stands for, kind of endurance, perseverance, how durable it is. And the stone stands for, when they stone someone to death, the rock that they build their society on, so to speak, the foundation. And wood stands for, a product of the tree of knowledge in this case. So it's all figurative. So they're following idiots who don't have insight, who don't persevere in the Lord, who built a house of cards, as they say. They built their nations and their families and their cultures on a weak foundation, so on and so forth. So they're idols that are said to not be able to see, hear, or walk. Now, Skywalker, right? Walking with God. We see in Leviticus 26, God says if you do the right thing, you can hold your head up high with God, not out of stupidity or psychology or mere state propaganda, whatever, but hold your head up high from doing the right thing. So they're following evil leaders. Now in verse 21 it says, nor did they repent of their murders, their magic arts, their sexual immorality, or their thefts. And all these things connect to cheating me out of my right to lead. So if faith alone saves you, why are these people getting punished severely for not repenting, which involves changing course? What it means to repent means to have contrition, right? To feel sorry, and to change course, right? To make amends. It says in Proverbs that fools mock at making amends for sin. So if there's no way to repent, then you're just sealed in hell. Thus the 7 trumpets, 7 angels, 7 churches, 7 seals. Okay, and they talk about, in Zechariah, they talk about the prostitute whose wickedness and how she has a covering over her in the basket, and she's sealed in, and they're looking to build her a place. Okay, and that the place is this world. And the reason why they made it harder for me to talk is because they don't have heart. Okay, why not debate me point by point? If it's so hard to listen to me, I'll type it out point by point. We'll do it in terms of writing. They won't do that because they know that I'm right. And they know that they're following false idols. The royal family of England is a false idol. The European governing class, the Israeli and Jewish governing class, false idols. Their churches, mosques, synagogues, false idols. Scientists, atheists, Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, all false idols. And they won't debate me. None of these groups will debate me. No other culture will debate me because they know that I'm right. To debate me on this is like saying that you're magically better off, and I say that so don't take me out of context, following fucking Fred from Scooby-Doo instead of the Black Panther, if those cartoons were real. And both of them were benevolent. It's fucking retarded. It's pretty clear that I'm right. Now, they're making it harder for me to talk again because, man, can you imagine when you meet your maker, when you face your kids, when you face your family, when you ask someone to marry you, that your heart is the heart of a feeble fool who makes it harder for Christ to talk out of jealousy. Can you imagine that? Like, hi, honey, I'm home. I'm some feeble fucking fool that's making it harder for Christ to articulate himself because I get a kick out of it because I'm a bitch. Right? It's fucking pathetic. When their children are born, whose child is it? What kind of heart do they have? Their weddings, their birthdays, their funerals, when they're on their deathbed. Every breath they take. Can you imagine being dumb enough to be them instead of being smart enough to follow me? Those who are in the know the most are the most disgraced, so to speak, if for nothing else. I'm sure we can all agree that it's fair for me to point these things out. Can you imagine them making the argument that they think that their genes are magically superior? Okay, when we think about Obama and Mandela, okay, when we think about Martin Luther King, we see people go beyond every white person there ever was, every Jew that ever was, every known Jew, not some character of a story, but every known Jew. Comparing it to like a character in a story is like comparing it to the Black Panther or something. It's stupid. So people already know that black people go beyond all other races. And again, I'm not racist. They're changing the sound of my voice and fuming me and causing me to stumble on my words so they can continue to control people the way they are. That's what they say to themselves. But first and foremost, because they're sadistic and they like to pretend that they're superior. So what do you think is the correct response? Horus, Christ, what have you? They're ideas of bringing order when you define them correctly. Bringing order to your mind, to the spiritual realm, what have you. So when the earth chooses chaos, hey, they go to hell, right? They're, it's like a decaying animal, decaying dead body on the ground, right? They go to hell. That's what the earth is. It's like a big pile of excrement and decaying animals and spit and all kinds of stuff. So to hug the earth is to be some kind of deadbeat punk. That's why it's called deadbeat, because you lost. The word beat is be at. It's a play on words for be at. What are you at? A rebel? People who use technology instead of their heart, their soul, their mind, body, heart, and soul and spirit to compete with Christ, and then clung to the earth like a piece of dung? It's fucking retarded. Imagine having to explain to people why a short righteous life is greater when it's commonly a theme of every good story. The Bible. Braveheart, Chinese Connection, Shaka Zulu. Can you imagine people who don't get that? Who think that they should act like some kind of pathetic villain? Some kind of crazed serial killer from a social club full of serial killers? From a family of serial killers, a mass murdering serial killers? It's a fate worse than death. And then when they meet their maker, my goodness. When a child is born to their family, what kind of child is it? A child of the devil? You think you should celebrate that day? Truly, I tell you, you should mourn.